Hey guys, Dr. Emily from the Joy of Coding Academy here, and I want to talk to you guys about the 5 skills that you need to have to become an awesome software developer, ideally targeting 6 figures, right? So what skills do you need as a coder to be able to really get a job as a highly paid software developer? And you might be surprised, there's not that much that you need to learn ahead of time. How long it takes can be totally up to you. So let's start with the basics, with the fundamentals, right? You know, building software, it's kind of like writing a novel, right? It's kind of this big undertaking. So what do we need to know first? Well, if I was going to sit down and write something, I would first need to know the alphabet and how to put words together. And that's the same thing with learning how to code. We really want to have mastered these 7 basics. Okay, so these 7 basics are the fundamentals of every programming language, not just one or the other. And once mastered, they can be used to implement any program that's ever been written for the last 50 years. So super cool, super essential, super fundamental, so worth the time investment. So, okay, I know that's really 7 things, not 5, but that collectively. And it doesn't have to take long. I just did a live workshop on these. I explained them in 4 hours. I know it was a marathon, but 4 hours. And we even did a little practicing with them, right? So it'll take longer than that potentially to fully understand how to use them, but it's 4 hours. You can learn to use these in a couple weeks. It doesn't have to take, years to master these fundamentals. Okay, so that's number 1, those 7 basics. And if you're looking for it, there's gonna be a link down below this video to get you started on that and get you trained up on that. And the second thing we really wanna learn how to do is search. Okay. Yeah, I know Google is every coder's best friend, but it's not just searching Google. That is a critically important skill. If you're not able to find resources to help you learn and solve your problems, you're going to be at a major disadvantage. So being able to search effectively, how do you write queries? What do you type into Google to get you really high quality results that are going to help explain to you what's going on and help you move forward faster? But it's not just searching Google and searching the web. It's also searching the code base that you're working on. So most software developers don't have the luxury of writing code from scratch. Typically, we're going all in and editing something that's already out there, right? Think about it. Any company that's hiring someone who's going to be making 6 figures or higher, they're going to have an existing code base, right? That's generating revenue. That's why they're able to afford a highly paid software developer. So we need to learn how to search code, right? How to also figure out what parts of the code are going to help us and how do we find them? So that's a critically important skill. And then once we've found that code, how do we read and understand it and ideally predict what is going to happen? Why do we need to predict? Well, if we are trying to edit code and it's not working the way we expect, we need to understand what do we expect to have happen and then be able to recognize when that's not. Right? When that's not going the way we expect. So we want to be able to read it and understand it well enough to be able to predict it. So that's number 3 of the 5 skills we need to have as a software developer. Then we want to be able to recognize and adapt those templates to meet new needs, right? So becoming a highly paid software developer doesn't need to take a super long time, because you can use this trick, this technique that I'm sharing with you today to really fast track your results and improve your efficiency as a coder. Your efficiency as a coder directly translates to how much you earn, right? What separates the 40K from the 150K from the 900K software developer? It's how efficiently they solve problems. So if we can make you as efficient as possible at adding new functionality or fixing bugs to an existing software system, you are going to be capable of commanding a much higher salary, right? Which is awesome, huge win. So the fastest path I know to do that is to search the software system to find a template to use. So what we do is when we take a task, like a new problem we're trying to solve, we try and understand, okay, where else has something similar already been implemented in the software system before? Now, it is helpful to be able to understand this code enough to recognize if it's written in a good way. What do we mean by good here? Well, the measure that I use is dryness, D-R-Y. Don't repeat yourself. If the code is dry, then it's safe to really work with it and move forward. You might want to consider refactoring it, which means to change the design without the functionality, so that you can make it more efficient or better designed to make your new changes easier to make. But ideally, especially for a new coder, what we want to do is assume that the code base we're working on is at a good enough design level. The code is already in there, right? It's already there. Someone most likely reviewed it already. So it went through some set of eyeballs. We can't be perfect, but we can work towards, improvements ongoing. So we take that code and we start tweaking it and adapting it to solve our new problem in the new place that we need that code. So this technique of identifying code templates from the code base itself is a really great way. It's a super cool trick to move forward faster and to become a better developer way more quickly than having to necessarily learn every single tiny little detail about the language or the software system that you're working on. You still want to make correct changes, but you can get yourself a lot closer, a lot faster, right? By taking what's already been in the system, looking at that design. How did it work? How did it connect with the existing code base? And then updating it and adapting it to serve your new need, right? So this is a super great trick that my students use all the time to help them fast track things. So that's number 4. Number 5, we need to be able to run it. If you've been coding at all, you probably know how to run code. As your programs advance, running might not be as simple as just clicking the button. In fact, today I was working with a student who had been running a web server, and unlike every other student on the project, their server wasn't shutting down automatically. And so we had to figure out how to kill it. We had to Google, we had to get things working. So at the end of the day, as technologists and coders, we need to get things working. And so the ability to run it, while typically is trivial, it's not always. And so then we're going to fall back on our other techniques of reading and predicting, searching, understanding, right? And all these amazing pieces. And so if you want to become a 6-figure software developer, it doesn't have to take that long. It doesn't have to be that hard. You only need to know these 5 things, right? How long will it take you to learn how to master 7 basics when we can talk over them in like 4 hours, right? A month at most. You can probably do it in 2 weeks. The ability to search. Okay, that's probably an afternoon's conversation or less. Reading and predicting, that's just how you learn. Recognizing and adapting templates, right? That's searching and then reading and understanding applied and then running it, right? And if you're having trouble running it, the ability to understand what's going on, Google for it, search it, and then apply it. So these skills are all interrelated, and there's really 2 main skills. Those 7 basics and learning how to adapt templates, like searching and adapting templates. Like at the end of the day, those are the critical, most important skills. You do need to run things. You do need to be able to read them and understand them and predict them. But at the end of the day, there's not that many skills that you need to have to be an amazing programmer. And that's why you can become a 6-figure software developer in 6 months when you're following the right path with a proven structured curriculum that's going to get you there. And if you'd like to know more about that, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'm Dr. Emily with the Joy of Coding Academy, where we teach these skills every day to students to help them become awesome, highly paid software developers. And we'd love to help you too. All right? There's some software that you are meant to create in the world if you're here, and we want to help you do it. All right? Have a great day. Happy coding.